Hello everyone, myself Suresh Kumar from Kalasalingam University, CSE department. Today I am going to explain you all about eukaryotic cells. So let's get started. So before we dive into the topic, I'd like to explain you all about what we're going to be seeing in this video. So first we're going to see about the introduction about what is a eukaryotic cell. We're going to see about the cell structure, cell functions and cell organelles, and what are the various functions of cell organelles. We're going to be seeing about individual cell organelles, as you all can see in the right hand side. This is a eukaryotic animal cell. We're going to be seeing about each and every individual part of the cell, that is cell organelles. And last but not the least, we're going to be giving you a brief summary about the video. So let's get started. Now let us see about the introduction of eukaryotic cells. Eu means true, karyotic means nucleus. So the organisms having eukaryotic cells, in the sense the nucleus of the cells are membrane bound, that is they have a well-defined nucleus and the nucleus is covered by a nuclear membrane. And all the other organelles are also membrane bound organelles. They have single or double membrane bound organelles. So eukaryotic cells range widely in the ecosystem. They are found in protozoans, fungi, plants, and animals. So they can also maintain different environments in a single cell that allows them to carry out various metabolic activities, which helps them grow much larger than prokaryotic cells. Unlike prokaryotic cells, the main difference about eukaryotic cell is that unlike prokaryotic cells, eukaryotic cells have a well-defined nucleus, that is, they have a nuclear membrane. So now I'll be taking you all through what are the characteristics of the eukaryotic cells. So let's see that. Characteristics of eukaryotic cells. The major characteristics of eukaryotic cells is that the nucleus is enclosed within a nuclear membrane. That is, the nucleus is bounded by a well-defined nuclear membrane, and the cells have mitochondria. Eukaryotic cells have flagella or cilia as locomotory organs, and the outermost layer of the eukaryotic cell is cell wall in the case of plants, and cell membrane in the case of animals. And the cells of eukaryotic cells divide by the mitosis, process called mitosis. Eukaryotic cells contain cytoskeletal structure, and most of the time eukaryotic cells, that are particularly animal eukaryotic cells, doesn't have a definite shape, whereas plant cells have a definite shape because they have cell wall, which makes them rigid. And nucleus contain a single linear DNA which carries all the genetic information. This explains that the nucleus which is present in the center in animal cell, or which is present in the corners in plant cells, the nucleus has a single, like a single linear DNA which contains all the genetic material required for transferring to one generation to another. Now let us see about cell organelles. So what are, first of all, before starting about cell organelles, let me explain what are cell organelles. Like we all know, we as humans, we have different organs in our body to function our body itself, right? So similar to that, each cell requires different little small organs that same we have. They require it in the cell itself. So these micro organelles organ inside the cell is called as cell organelles. So we're going to be seeing about each and every cell organelle and each and every function. So each and every cell organelle should perform the function for proper metabolism of the cell. So we're going to be seeing about the cell organelles. So to begin with, these are the different cell organelles. So as you can see, follow my cursor. This is the nucleus. These are the mitochondria. These are ribosomes. The small yellow color dots are ribosomes. The green color is called as lysosomes. This is endoplasmic reticulum. The one, the yellow color structure that is covering the nucleus is called as endoplasmic reticulum. And the outermost layer is called as plasma membrane. And as you can see, Golgi apparatus, the sac or bag-like structure that is present closer to the endoplasmic reticulum is called as Golgi apparatus. And the DNA, well, the DNA is present in the center. It is concentrated on the center of the nucleus. So now we are going to dive into each and every cell organelle and their functions. So let us begin. Nucleus. Nucleus is basically like the head organ of the cell. You can say it like that. It is a head organelle of the cell. So it basically controls every other organelle. So it contains a nuclear membrane, nucleolus, nuclear pore. The nuclear pore facilitates chemical reaction, chemical interactions of the nucleus and the cell itself. The nucleolus has condensed DNA inside it, which is genetic material, which has information on how to perform metabolism within the cell, how to perform cell division, and every other stuff is stored inside the DNA nucleolus. The nucleus is a very important cell organelle because it controls every other organelle, and not only that, it plays a very important role in cell division, which is very vital for multicellular organisms. It also facilitates ribosome production inside this, not only inside the nucleus, it also facilitates ribosome production outside the nucleus, which will be explained in further videos because that's a very wide topic, which will be explained in further videos. So let us see about the next organ. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of cells. They're called powerhouse of cells because they produce energy. The energy in the cell is calculated in the term of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. The mitochondria produces ATP. They produce the major function of mitochondria is to produce energy in form of ATP. The ATP is used by other organelles to perform metabolism. The mitochondria has various cisterns which are called the folds. They have multiple folds like this. You can follow my cursor. They have multiple folds like this because the folds increase surface area, and increased surface area means increased production of energy. Okay, they help in regulating cell metabolism. The mitochondria is a double membrane bound organelle. So mitochondria is a powerhouse of cell. It produces energy. It helps in producing energy in terms of ATP. So let us see the next organelle, that is ribosomes. Ribosomes are protein synthesis or protein factories. You can say they are protein factories of the cell. They are small organelles which have two subunits, that is one larger subunit and one smaller subunit. And during production of proteins, the mRNA from the nucleus that I previously mentioned will go between the two structures, and it will read and it will produce proteins. So ribosome's main function is production of proteins. So there's protein synthesis sites basically. Yeah. So let us go to the next organ. Endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum is like a branch network that surrounds the nucleus. See here, it surrounds the nucleus. Endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum does not contain ribosomes, hence the name smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Even the endoplasmic reticulum is a membrane-bound organelle. There's outer membrane and inner membrane. They facilitate larger chemical reactions in the cell. They almost cover most of the area in the cell. They are spread across the cytoplasm. They help in chemical reaction between the cytoplasm and the nucleus itself. Since the nucleus cannot perform the function by itself, it requires like a branch and network which connects it to other organs, right? So it plays like a vital role in chemical reaction or chemical interactions between the nucleus and the cell. So let us go to the next organelle, which is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus are a sac or bag-like structures that are present near the endoplasmic reticulum. These structures are very vital because they help in transport of ribosomes or proteins that are produced in the site near the site of endoplasmic reticulum. So basically, the proteins produced from endoplasmic reticulum enter into Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus gives them like a shell or a covering kind of thing, and which makes them mobile, and it can move across the cell, which the protein can move across the cell and go to the right place. And certain fun facts about Golgi apparatus are: Golgi apparatus is a flat disc-shaped structure, and the folds are called cisternae. It is absent in red blood cells, which is a fun fact. It is absent in red blood cells of humans and sieve cells of plants. These are arranged parallelly and concentrically near the cell nucleus. It is important site for formation of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Now let us see about lysosomes. Lysosomes are known as suicidal bags. They're called as suicidal bags because lysosomes contain like strong enzymes that help digesting proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. They not only help in digest that, they also at certain times, like when the cell is undergone through stress or pathogenic attack, and when the cell is helpless, the lysosomes breaks and releases the enzymes inside the cell, and it digests the entire cell itself. So it kills the cell basically. So they're called as suicidal packs. So therefore lysosomes are called as suicidal packs. They have strong enzymes which help in digesting proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. Now we are going to be seeing about plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is the outermost membrane that covers the entire cell. It separates the cell from the outermost environment. The plasma membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, that is, it allows only certain particles, certain objects to enter and exit out of the cell. So it plays a vital role in entering and exit of particles in and out of the cell. It is a membrane which covers the nucleus basically. So the next thing is cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton is basically like a fiber present in cytoplasm. uh, it gives rigidity and structure to the cell. So basically, it is a fiber to provide perfect shape to the cell. It anchors the organelles and stimulate cell movements. So the next organelle that we're gonna be seeing is cell wall. Cell wall is exclusively seen in plant cells only. Their cell wall is rigid. It is the outermost. As you can see, this is a typical plant cell. Contains all the organelles similar to animal cell, but they have one extra cell called as cell wall, and they also have plastids, that is chloroplast. So the cell wall is the rigid structure that provides like protection from outermost environment, because plant cells are not motile, so it helps protect from the outermost environment. It provides shape to the cell, and it's a protective layer that covers the cell from injury or pathogenic attacks, you can say. It is composed of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins, proteins, and etc. So the next organelle that we are going to be seeing is plastids. Plastids are double membrane organelles that are found only in plant cells. Plastids are also exclusively seen in only plant cells. Okay, so these are plastids are of three types. Chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplasts. Chloroplasts are the plastids that contain green color pigment which help in photosynthesis. Chromoplasts are the plastids that give color to the pigment, like yellow, red, orange colors to the plant or leaves. So the leucoplasts are colorless, that store oil, fats, and carbohydrates or proteins, etc. So now we have come to the end of what are the cell organelles and their functions we have seen. So now we are going to be seeing about plant cells and animal cells of eukaryotic cells. So this is a typical animal cell. So you can see there is no cell wall, and the nucleus is exactly present at the center, and it has smaller vacuoles. As you can see, it has smaller vacuoles, and the nucleus is present in the center. It has only cell membrane but no cell wall. Whereas next we're going to see about plant cell. Whereas in plant cell it has a larger vacuole, and the nucleus is present over the corner of the cell, that is basically the corner to the cell, and they have plastids, they which have chloroplast in them. See, they have which have chloroplast in them, which facilitates photosynthetic reactions and produce energy in the cell. So we have seen the difference between plant cell and animal cell also. So the one more major difference in plant cell and animal cell is that animal cell does not have a definite shape, whereas plant cells have definite shape because of the presence of cell wall. So the next thing we're going to be seeing is, now we're going to be seeing about eukaryotic cell cycle. Eukaryotic cell cycle is carried out in different phases, that is the G0 phase, interphase, G1 phase, and G2 phase. G0 phase or quiescence phase is the phase in which the nucleus acquires all the required nutrients and stuff to grow in size, and it is actually the largest phase that happens. And G1 phase and G2 phase are both similar to each other, that is they grow in size, for which facilitates in cell division. Interphase is the phase that comes in between quiescence and G1 and G2 phase. So we're going to be seeing in the next slide are mitosis and meiosis. So in mitosis involves prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis, and meiosis involves prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis. Whereas the difference between mitosis and meiosis is that mitosis is normal division, whereas meiosis is reductional division. That is, the cells are reduced. Meiosis occurs in sex cells. Mitosis occurs in the other cells other than sex cells. Okay. One more difference is that meiosis occurs, the process in meiosis, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, occurs twice, that is prophase 1, metaphase 1, telophase 1, anaphase 1, and it undergoes prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2, and it goes cytokinesis. It does not go two times cytokinesis, it only goes one time cytokinesis, and the cell divides into two daughter cells, two unidentical daughter cells, because the DNA becomes replicated into different structures. So that is a huger topic which will be explained in further videos of mine. So the next slide is some. So overall, we have come to the summary, the end slide of the presentation. So we have seen a lot about eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are like complex structures. They compose almost 70 to 80% of the ecosystem now. It ranges from almost like the ants to elephants, like whales. All the organisms are made up of eukaryotic cells. Like I said in the first slide itself, eukaryotic cells are composed of, they are in protistas, they're in fungi, they're in animals, they're in plants. Wherever you see eukaryotic cells are there. And eukaryotic cells are, unlike prokaryotic cells, they have come through multiple evolutions, and they are well capable of converting metabolic activities on their own. So thank you all for bearing with my hard lectures from the beginning to the end. I hope you all loved the video. It was educational and informative. So the particular presentation that I've used in this particular video will be link down below in the description. If you want, you can download it and you can refer it. And if you have any further video ideas, or you want me to explain a particular topic or something, you can ping me up in my socials. These are my two socials. You can ping me up the ideas, and I'll let you know whether to upload the video or not. And if you all think I could improve in certain domains like my accent, or my presentation, the modulation, whatever it is, if you think I could explore a bit better in other domains, or improve myself in other domains, please let me know in the down comments below. So thank you all. It's been nice teaching you all. So this is Suresh Kumar signing off.